And I don't mean like the kind you wear. I mean like the kind like you're sweating through a shirt.
Well,
that's distasteful.
Certain things you can't redo. You married me. There you go.
It's only been 20 years. I can change my mind. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
It's the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. How are you?
Welcome.
Yeah. It's nice to see you.
Last night, we were telling you that we're taking 20 people down for burgers at
Fat Jack's Burger Emporium.
So Erin actually lucked out and got to go last night.
Took Zoe. That was my first mistake, by the way, taking Zoe. Yeah, because she instantly charmed everyone with her delightfully flexible moral compass. And so she was saying things like, Mom never lets me have desserts. So I was kind of hopping around a little bit and sitting with people and talking. And she ended up getting 3 shakes.
She was carrying 2 at the same time.
So, yeah, my daughter's flexible moral compass is brought to you by Brio Technologies. They're your experts in lighting, sound, and video. By the way, this is a perfect time to talk to them. If you want just like a modest little setup for home, or maybe you need something cool for your office or for a school or for a project, they can rent, they can set up, maintain, do everything for you. Go to brioaudiovisual.com.
So the reason...
Back to Zoe. Yeah.
So the reason we sent, first of all, talk about our viewers. You met a bunch.
They're our girlfriends.
I don't have girlfriends there. No, I have female acquaintances.
No, you totally have girlfriends.
Okay, I do.
So girlfriends like a girl has girlfriends, though.
Okay.
You've already said you're female from the waist up, which is true.
Thanks.
No, in a cool way. Like you can decorate and you can cook and stuff, and you're cool. And you're kind.
So I'm gay from the waist up.
All right, here's the important thing. So
anyway, I want you to talk about the women we met and what you guys were talking about, and how was the food?
The food is freaking amazing. I had the barbecue Caesar salad, but they have some burgers. I've told you about the Mormon burgers. The Angry Blue burger she gave me a bite was hysterical. It is so good.
Is that the one with the blue cheese?
They have fried pickles.
Pickles.
We had like 47 of them. None of us could stop eating them. They do with this chimichurri sauce. It was so good.
All right, now you made people angry.
Yeah, it's in the new Holiday Inn Express across from the Salt Palace. Anyway, if you'd like to join us next Thursday, we're going to send out dinner invitations on Monday. So make sure that you're with us. You know what's interesting after knowing people this long, and this is like this, because we've been talking to our friends now for what, 20,
yeah.
I don't know. The important thing is this, I've watched their babies grow up. I've watched them, and I've talked to the girls who were at the very first Erin's Night Out like 17 years ago.
Right.
And Brenda brought her 2 kids with her, and one of them is just this ludicrously tall child. And I'm like, and I couldn't stop myself. I went, I held you when you were a baby. And he gave me that blank smile that children always give you. And
creepy.
No, but it's like that stupid adult thing of saying, hey, I knew you when you were a baby. And I remember when I was a kid and my mom's friends would say it, and I'm like, well, congratulations. You don't know what to say other than, okay. But you can't stop yourself. And I think it's because you're just so stunned by the passage of time. I think when you see somebody's kids, they kind of freeze, like this is where they're supposed to be, is where the last place you saw them.
Right.
So it was fun. No, we talked about, I don't know, I'm always amazed by the resilience of the people we love, because we talked about children having cancer and overcoming it. We talked about husbands having open heart surgery. We talked about wives who had just taken on their sister's 3 kids because she couldn't care for them anymore, which made them have 10 children, by the way.
That sounds like horrible things happen to our people.
I think getting three children is good. And then they talked about vacations, none of which we ever have. But it was nice to hear other people going to Disneyland and the Bahamas. So.
Well, anyway, I think it was great. You came home very happy.
It was a wonderful night. So I'm excited we're going to do it every Thursday.
Sugar buzzed. And all you have to do is share the show.
Yeah, like and share.
Okay.
And we'll do that on Monday, so it'll be cool.
All right.
But it was nice.
Tragic story, Salt Lake City. Not tragic, but tragic, and we can straighten it out maybe.
Yeah, this is like the most classic people who are going to hell story ever, which is... don't even try, because that's where you're going. Like Satan has like the pool of boiling tar waiting for you.
Your name's on a pit.
This guy's Joe Stone. He's the most awesome guy ever. He's got a website, by the way, called the Joe Stone Foundation. I want you to write that down and go to the website, Joe Stone Foundation. Here's why. He suffered a permanent spinal cord injury at the C7 level in 2010.
On this vertebra, yeah.
Now, this means he's paralyzed from the waist down, and then he has impairment in both of his hands.
Okay.
But naturally, he has to be one of those people who's like super awesome and really tough, and he insisted on learning how to paraglide.
So this is... Oh, go ahead.
So he became an amazing paraglider. He created this foundation to help children overcome disabilities and say, you can keep going. I'm going to teach you sports. We'll learn sports. We'll all do things together. You will overcome your disabilities.
Why is it in Salt Lake City?
And he's here because he's doing a tour, and he's drumming up support for his foundation, and he's raising awareness about the ability to continue on no matter what life throws at you.
And of course, someone has to screw up the plan.
Oh my God. So he was off and he was doing his paragliding. He has a custom made camper, and it's not a fancy thing. We'll show you a picture.
Yeah, go ahead and look. So look it's military looking.
Isn't that adorable? That's his dog looking out the window.
It works for him. It's designed for him.
And it's designed. If you see, there's a ramp. Things are low slung, and he lives in there.
He gets solar power.
He says, I'm just at a loss because this is my home. Because
the truck is gone.
Someone stole his trailer from that hotel parking lot. Now, here's the deal. He was just 2 weeks into this journey to show kids that they could overcome their disabilities.
Right.
This trailer had thousands upon thousands of dollars of camera equipment and basically everything he owned, everything that was his.
Right.
And so the part that's like really painful about this, he says, I'm gonna stay with friends, and he goes, and I'll keep going. I won't stop. He says, but I'm gonna have to climb up. I'm gonna have to crawl up the stairs to their bathrooms or their bedrooms because I won't have my own place. I'll have to. And he was talking about his frustration, and to me, it's like we either have to get this sucker back. We all have to keep an eye peeled. Because it's distinctive. Can you show it again, Gage? Because it's really distinctive if you take a look at it.
It is a standout. So what are the police saying to do?
It's a simple one. They want you to call. If you
see.
see it, they want you to call right away.
Right.
Call 911. It's urgent enough. It's got his name, Joe Stone, stamped on it in the red logo.
You can't miss that vehicle.
But this is like a year-long odyssey, and he's 2 weeks in.
In Salt Lake City.
So I think this is. I have never seen a group of people who are better with their eyes than we are here in Utah. So we've got to keep an eye out. And I think that if you would like to, I'm going to go and donate. Maybe if you can go and donate to the Joe Stone Foundation. If they can't find the trailer, maybe we can at least help them get started again. Because I can't think of anything more perfect. Right. I can't think of anyone more amazing than this guy.
The next story has to do with the UofU and Papa John's. Papa
Say
John's.
Say it out loud, Papa John's.
That's where he goes. The NFL is better with Papa John's. Well, he obviously has gotten himself into just a big pit of trouble.
Can we explain just a little bit? Give his name. This is the original founder of Papa John's.
Right, and he's this big stockholder and stuff, and he's the one you always see is the face of Papa John's. He's with the NFL. He likes butting around with them. He likes doing all this stuff, and he also likes saying the N-word, evidently, and did it on a conference call with a group who was training their people to be politically correct.
He had apparently had so many racial complaints at the company that they sent in a public relations firm that sort of whitewashes your reputation, and they were doing an exercise with him, like, okay, if someone said this to you, you would say this, and he
went to town.
He said a truly horrible thing that involves lynching and the most racist terms you can imagine to the public relations firm that was trying to whitewash his image.
Who quit immediately.
And not only that, he had been sent to HR before because of his use and the inappropriate, and he repeated the words to the person in human relations, to HR.
So the university...
Basically, he can't keep his mouth shut. So he has been fired. He has been thrown out.
He still owns stock, but the University of Utah wasn't going to sit back. And so what they've done in the commissary is they have taken out the pizza, taken out any image of them, taken everything out, and made a nice statement, I think.
I will read it. The University of Utah strives to be a welcoming and inclusive place for people of all backgrounds. As a result, the University of Utah is reviewing its Papa John's contract and evaluating other options for Union Court food, which is basically ding, 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 the death knell if you're listening closely. Additionally, the U.S. taken immediate action to remove all images of John Schnatter from the location and working to replace the pizza boxes featuring his image.
There you go.
You know, and traditionally, I think we've all seen places where people... maybe you've slipped and you've said something stupid, or
not like that.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, people can make a mistake. But when you're busting this stuff out in front of HR and the public relations firm trying to clean you up, I'm pretty much figuring it's a lost cause.
And he's got a history of this.
It's
last straw.
To HR.
I will now give you two of the best words
sorry.
in the history of the English language.
Tell me.
Free fries. Think about it. Oh. You don't have any fries. Then you have fries.
And they're free.
And they're free.
That's a given.
All right, there is a little snaggeroo here.
There's always something.
All right, it's from McDonald's, okay? So McDonald's said they're giving out free French fries for the rest of the year.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Because it's Free Friday. Get it?
Free Friday fries. Something like that. And so basically the only catch is you have to download the McDonald's app.
and then buy something else worth at least $1 when you do it. Now it's funny, we actually
Free fries.
We actually do have the app because my daughter's relentless, and apparently with a lot of the Happy Meal toys, you can interact with them with the McDonald's app. So
but you know what
we
this
already
means?
have it.
You know what this means?
What?
For the connoisseurs out there like myself, you get the fries, you get the ice cream cone.
Oh, why did you teach Zoe that? That's
and you
disgusting.
get salt, savory, sugar. You know what I'm talking about. Most of you are going, yeah. The other people are going, oh, Todd. So free fries. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, you know, for the $1, you could buy the cone, and now you have your combination.
It's
a pleasing symmetry.
We have the best Tell Me Something Good story coming up.
In just a couple of minutes, I know it is
just
amazing.
Unbelievable. First, we want to talk to you about
New Millennium Financial. New Millennium Financial is interesting to me because of a couple of things. I always have the assumption that I couldn't go to a financial planner because we're not rich.
Well, what do we do with our $2? Where do we put it?
But it was interesting because they pointed out to me at New Millennium, they said, you're exactly the people who need this. They said, people who have a lot of money already know what they're doing with it usually. We can still help them and guide them and redo some stuff for them, but it's the people who need a plan and the people who need to figure out where they're going. And she said, I have people who come in there embarrassed like, this is all I have. And I'm like, no, you're doing really good. You've done some savings. And she said, everyone's always doing better than they expect, and we can always help you understand how to make it work for you.
Sooner better than later.
Always. So just go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. That's utahsfinancialplanner.com, and you can get talking to someone there for an initial free consultation.
Rocky Mountain Power is giving everyone a little warning, a little heads up. What's going on?
Again, we got another scam phone call going.
I just don't answer the phone.
Wow, this has been busy. This started yesterday morning, and they've already gotten 300 scam alert reports. Mostly Salt Lake City and West Valley businesses. There's some from cash. Now, here's the tricky thing.
So this is just businesses.
Yeah, this is the tricky thing. The scammers call and they say that you haven't made your payments and that everything's going to have to be shut down, and it's going to be a $300 restart fee.
Right.
You need to pay this now over the phone via credit card or PayPal or something.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, it's even trickier, though, because when you pick up, the caller identification number is the actual number for Rocky Mountain Power. Like if you were to look it up online while you're talking to them,
right.
So they've somehow managed to switch
the
number.
Right.
They're doing a fake number, but so however they switched it, it looks real. So it's that extra layer of. So they said, please don't do that. They said, if you ever have concerns about the legitimacy of your call, just hang up and call us on the other number. And they also say, anyone who's scamming you is not going to have your account number. So, if they can't successfully repeat your account number and all the security on your account,
right.
then they're scammers.
Every time we've had our power cut off, they've always left a really nice note hanging on the door. It looks
Mr. and Mrs. Collard.
It looks like this, and it's right on top of the water shutoff notice. So you got two notices on your door handle like that, and you go, whoops, time to pay a bill. But yeah, okay.
Since I'm the one that pays the bills, that makes me look bad when you joke about that. That makes me look like a flake.
No, you're not a flake.
If you were paying it, then I would laugh really heartily at that joke, because then I'd be like, my husband.
Hon, if I was paying bills, we'd be under a viaduct. A nice one with hot and cold running sprinklers. This story...
I'm going to choke on my drink.
I've always been amazed by this. I've always been amazed that a corporation or a business or a government comes up with an idea, and they're all sitting around a table, and everyone says, that's a great idea. Not one person goes, 1 minute. And this goes for advertising campaigns. This is Spain and their government.
The country?
Right.
Okay, yeah,
sure. Specifically, their Navy.
Wait.
The first question comes up.
They have a Navy?
Spain? Why? Why would you have a Navy?
Spain has a Navy?
If anybody invaded by sea is Spain, especially the southern part, their food's magnificent. You could just bribe them.
Yeah, they just stay on the coast and eat seafood. They'd be fine. Okay, sure. That's number one. So Spain has a Navy. We've learned something today.
What could go wrong building your own submarine? This is probably their only submarine, I would think.
So they probably want it to be special.
Okay, let's say, hey, we better watch out for a couple of problems with this submarine. What would they be? Give me one thing.
Probably the first is sustainability. Are you using a fuel that you can adequately acquire?
Right.
Do you have, for instance, harbors that are deep enough to accommodate said submarine?
All right, so let me play this out.
Like, for instance, especially around your military bases, there are places there for the submarine.
And to service it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things they came up with, somebody moved a decimal point. Really? Someone moved a decimal point.
And nobody noticed this?
And suddenly they realized that the buoyancy of a submarine was not adequate to get back to the surface. So what we have is a very large metal coffin. And you stick all these people in it, and it sails out into the harbor and disappears. And never makes it back up. So, being the smart people that they are, that's like a fairly clear physics. I would think most engineers would go. It's math.
Yeah.
So they came up with an idea, and they went, this is going to be great. We'll cut it in half and add a section in the middle of 100 feet. 100 feet. And so now it's a stretch limo, basically. And it took care of the buoyancy problem.
Okay.
Because they moved the decimal point.
Well,
and
that
was so, and everybody's like so happy, and
so we solved their problem.
Everything's good. They launched the submarine, boing. Look at that buoyancy out there. Went under, came back up, which is always a good surprise.
That's a good start. Yeah.
Then they suddenly realized that the dock they had made for it doesn't fit anymore. It's too shallow, and it sticks off the end. So they cannot service it.
Gosh.
They cannot load it. They can, and I don't think...
Get Giuseppe in his rowboat. We'll see if we can get the sailors off one at a time, and then he can bring in snacks.
Do the buddy system, I got him. Pierre. No, that's French. Yeah. So basically...
Well, Pierre is Giuseppe's cousin. He's visiting.
Okay.
Giuseppe so it's okay.
is Italian.
Giuseppe could be...
So...
Oh, that's right. Okay. Stefan.
Don't
that's really Norwegian.
Next, and don't. So basically
Thomas? Okay, Thomas and his rowboat.
Bob.
And his cousin Pierre.
Stop.
Okay.
So now they have this great thing. It's probably the only ship they have. They probably have great food, though.
But it's super long.
It's way long, and maybe that's the whole size thing. But now they have no place to dock it. Tell me something good, would you?
I'm so sorry, guys. I love you very much. And I just clunked my mic. I'm sorry. This is such a good one, and I really love this. And you actually picked this out, you softy, you.
Oh.
Tell Me Something Good, by the way, is brought to you by PC Laptops. And if you do not know more about PC Laptops, it's time you did. If you go down to one of these suckers, and this is the time with back to school and kids needing laptops.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Desktops. And you're thinking, that's great. I have multiple children. This sucks. But no, it doesn't, because they start desktops and laptops as low as $7.99. And the incredible thing, it is lifetime service and labor and parts. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, a lifetime warranty on your computer. I don't know how you can beat that.
So if you're going for grandma and grandpa keeping track of the kids, want to Skype with them and Facebook with them, all the way up to a math major, at the U, they have the one you're looking for.
And with 10 locations now.
Dan,
you're exploding.
I go down to the State Street store. It's like 7th South, because those guys, they know me, and they know when they start talking technical, and I do this, and they realize that there's no one home here. So anyway, if you're looking for a computer, check them out.
PCLaptops.com. Okay,
really cool.
Now are we ready?
CEO, go ahead.
Walter Carr is a 20-year-old college student from Alabama.
20.
First day on his job, because he needs one to, for instance, keep working.
A job.
And keep going to school. His 2003 Nissan Altima broke down. Now, he panicked. He was calling his friends. He called his girlfriend. He's like, you guys, I got to get a ride.
Got to get to work.
He checked his GPS, and he realized that without a car, it was going to take him 7 hours.
How long was it? It's like 20 miles?
7 hours to get from his home in Homewood, Alabama to the town of Pelham for his first day at the Bellhops Moving Company.
Oh, it just started.
He couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Right.
Nobody was available.
No buses.
And he doesn't have money for like Uber or stuff like that. He's a college student. That's why he had to get a job so he could live. So he started his 20-mile walk around midnight. He said, I had to be there before 8, and I wanted to beat the crew members.
What the hell?
To let the company know how dedicated I am. So he made it about 14 miles to Pelham when police officers stopped him on the side of the road around 4 a.m. and said, he's like, buddy, what are you doing walking on the... And he says, I know this is hard to believe, but I'm actually headed to work. And when they heard the story, officers decided to take him to breakfast, make sure he got something so he could take in for lunch.
Right.
And then they safely dropped him off at the First Methodist Church. They could only go so far in their jurisdiction.
Oh, no.
So he rested for a while, started walking again. He had less than 4 miles to go. And another officer pulls up to check on him. He said, are you Walter Carr? And Walter's like, yeah. And he goes, get in the car. I got you.
They called ahead.
So they dropped him. They dropped him off at the home of the place where he was scheduled to help move that day.
Right.
He had already known the address of where they were going and stuff. Sure. Just like those good guys who moved us, how they all just kind of showed up on their own. Yeah. And this is Jenny Lamy, and she said, wow, you're really early. He goes, oh, well, and kind of told her a bit of the story.
I've been hiking to Everest.
So it was
the Appalachian Trail to work.
And it was very funny. He said they seemed overwhelmed. We argued for about 5 minutes about me sitting down and resting. But he found himself on their living room couch with like an iced tea and his feet up for a minute. He felt, drinking his iced tea. So as they were waiting for the rest of the crew to come, they started chatting, and Jenny learned that Carr was enlisted to become a Marine, and they had moved to Birmingham with his mother because they lost their home in New Orleans during Katrina, which is a story so many people had gone through. And she said, I can't tell you how touched I was with this kid's story. He's so humble. So she had done this post on Facebook and just talking about how amazing it was. It went viral, of course, and caught the attention of Luke Marklin, who's the Bellhop's CEO, the CEO of the moving company he now works for.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he says, just reading that, I was blown away. And the more we learned, the more we realized what a special person Walter was. And so he met with him the following day and said, I'm giving you my car.
No.
And of course, he's a CEO, so he's got a pretty car.
Yeah.
And Walter's like sort of breaking down in tears, and with a sweet sense of understatement, Marklin, the CEO, goes, I think he was pretty happy. He said, but it was wonderful to get to know him. Walter is a person who's had adversity throughout his life, but he said not having a car was ever going to let this kid down.
Wow.
And so he gave him his car so that he could always get to work.
20 miles of walking, then to move people.
We just thinking about this. You remember when they moved us? And
it's a lot
started
of work.
8 a.m. Todd and I had moved a lot of stuff ourselves in the house, and we're like, "Oh, this should be easy."
It was 10 o'clock at night.
No, it was midnight.
I went to bed.
Don't you remember? We eventually gave up and said, "Just shove everything in the basement wherever you can find it."
They did a really good job. Anyway,
it's unbelievable hard work.
The point being is that the CEO stepped up and what a great this person will never forget this.
I love Walter Carr. I love this guy. He is so adorable.
Very cool. All right, so Christopher's, we do, this is so funny, Fat Jacks we do on Thursdays, and then anytime you want, if you're selected by random, we're going to send you to Christopher's Prime Steakhouse.
I just got Karen and one of our winners set up there. She's going on Monday. So.
And it's a table of 4, you and your friends, linen tables, beautiful place, great service, side dishes,
ridiculously, unbelievably good steaks.
You will never eat after that moment because it'll all be a disappointment.
Okay, Heather Steele, congratulations. Heather Steele, you are our winner this week. Heather Steele, congratulations. I'll be contacting you. And if you would like to win, just like and share the show. Number 1, it irritates your friends, which gives us pleasure too. And number 2, it then puts you in the running. And it doesn't matter when you're watching the show because we do this every week, so I just pick a recent share. So
and
it's not a big deal.
The other thing is, and my sister said this to me. She goes, I missed the show today. There is no missing the show. They are all on demand, and all you have to do is go.
Go to our video section on Facebook, Todd and Erin. Go to the video section. They're all there. Or you can go to Todd and Erin Collard on YouTube. You can go to Todd and Erin on SoundCloud. You can go to Todd and Erin on Pinterest. You can go to Todd and Erin on iTunes. You can go all of those places, and we'll still be there.
When you Google that, ignore the mugshots.
Look,
that was a rough time.
That was one time, okay? One time, and all of a sudden, you're a criminal.
You guys have a great day. We are going to be back. Have a great weekend, by the way. We're going to be back Monday morning, late morning. We call it noon on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. All right, well, we'll see you guys. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
You really had to tell them about the mug shots, right?
Well,
is that really...